Did your dream LVT floor turn into a nightmare? You just finished installing your brand new luxury vinyl tile flooring. It looked perfect. The beautiful wood grain, the click lock system, it felt so satisfying. You were finally done, you step back to admire your work, maybe even take a photo, and then just a few weeks later, this happens. You're walking across your floor and you feel it. There's a slight bump, or maybe you notice that there's a gap that wasn't there before. Or worse, the edge of your plank is starting to lift. You followed the instructions, right? You clicked them together just like the video showed. So what went wrong? Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Craig and I was a commercial installer for over 20 years. If you're looking to install LVT, or sometimes called LVP flooring, you've probably heard how durable and easy it is. And yes, that is true. But there's one critical phase many DIYers or novices may overlook. It can turn your dream floor into a nightmare. It's preparation. Today we're gonna dive deep into why substrate prep is absolutely the most important step for LVT. So why does prep matter so much for LVT? Unlike rigid material like tile, LVT is pliable. While this flexibility is great in many ways, it also means that any bumps or humps underneath your LVT can show through as you walk on the floor. Think of it like a thin blanket over a lumpy mattress. You're gonna feel and see all of those lumps. Substrate problems actually are key to most of the common flooring LVT issues. A smooth, flat, and yes, dry subfloor is crucial for success. We often use the term flat and level, and they're not the same thing. Level refers to the horizontal dimension, being flat in relation to the pull of gravity. We use tools like a bubble level or laser levels to test if something is truly level. Think about if a shelf on a wall and you put a ball on it, level means the ball won't roll off. Flat, on the other hand, describes a surface with no irregularities. No dips, no high points. Even if your floor isn't perfectly level, it can still be flat. For LVT, flatness is what matters the most. Why? Because dips and bumps in the subfloor create a movement and tension in the LVT planks. This is how you end up with planks separating on the floor, tenting and buckling. So how do you check for flatness? First, clear the subfloor. Remove all the old flooring if you're doing a demo, the debris, everything. It may even help to take a damp sponge and wipe everything down. Get all the dust up. Get a utensil like a scraper or the flat end of a hammer and kind of run it across the floor. This is where you're gonna find some places that catch, whether it's a raised nail or screw, or maybe even a seam between your plywood. Next, we wanna get out your level. You can kind of drag it around the room from side to side in different directions, holding it flat on the floor, looking for any light that comes under it, or seeing if it rocks back and forth. Now, how do we fix the floor? If you have a wood floor and find screws or nails that have popped up, those need to go down. Another thing you need to do with wood floors is you need to patch all of the seams. Where the plywood comes together, no matter how flat it feels, normally that little inconsistency can cause issues with your LVT. Fill it with patch, flash it out. If you have a low spot you need to go over, sometimes you can do that with patch, sometimes you're gonna need a self-leveling. For concrete floors, checking for flatness. Fill any variations just like you did in the other with a patch. Once again, you can prime it and use a self-leveling material. I found out if you have floors that have a lot of issues, self-leveling is the way to go. It provides you a great surface to bond to and it levels itself. You can find those at most any of your floor prep stores where you bought your LVT. If you're shopping on tilebar.com, ask your A&D rep and we can get it for you. Have you ever had an LVT issue? Hey, drop that down in the comments. I'd like to read them and I will reply. Moisture issues can cause a lot of different problems, looking like warpage, mildew growth, planks separating, tinting, and buckling. These can come from things like a leak, high humidity, or even a high water table in a concrete floor. For glue down LVT, you can install it right to the concrete, but if there's moisture there, you could have a bond failure. For a click lock LVT, the loss of bond is not there because it wasn't bonded anyway, but moisture can still cause warping in the product, mildew growth, and moisture building up underneath. I've seen puddles underneath click floors. This high humidity can affect the vinyl material itself, leading to expansion and contraction and failure. So you must address moisture issues, but the details on how to test for moisture content, you may want to involve a professional. If it's a concrete floor, often you have to get a probe, which is drilled into the floor. This will measure the RH, which is the relative humidity, and give you a reading. When testing for RH, or the relative humidity, kind of the rule of thumb is around 85 degrees. Now, check with your manufacturer on what they suggest. This can differ. There's been products that can go up to 99, some that are less, but having that RH number is important to figuring out if you have a moisture issue. So what if the moisture does test high? Especially in older slabs, you need to figure out what's going on. Is it hydrostatic pressure from a high water table, poor drainage around the outside of the building, a busted pipe, or a leak? You need to fix the underlying problem. However, there are some solutions you can put into practice if the moisture vapor is not significant. There are engineered products that you can put on the floor that will block the moisture from coming through the slab. This can get your RH level down to where your adhesive can warranty your installation. Another critical but often overlooked preparation is acclimation. You always need to acclimate your LVT material. This means you need to put the material in the space it's going to be installed for 24 to 48 hours ahead of time. Some manufacturers suggest 48 to 72 hours. Why? This gets your material to the right temperature and humidity for the space it will be installed in. While LVT is durable, drastic temperature changes can cause havoc on an installation if the material isn't acclimated. We recommend a stable temperature, typically 65 to 85 degrees, and a humidity of 35 to 65 during acclimation. Maintaining consistent temperature and humidity with your HVA system is crucial for optimal performance. When installing LVT, you must leave a space around the perimeter of the room. Why, you ask? Because LVT still can expand and contract slightly with environmental changes. If there is no room for this movement, the system will be put under tension. This tension leads to serious issues like tinting, buckling, and your click system even pulling apart, creating gaps. The suggested gap size in the perimeter is anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Always read the directions of the specific LVT you purchase and the gap they suggest for your perimeter. You can easily install spacers to maintain this gap, and don't forget areas like around the kitchen island. An island that locks in can still cause issues. Most of the time, baseboard or trim can hide this visual gap. If you're new to all this but still want to get started, I suggest start with a small room before diving into the whole house. Let's recap before we get going. Inspect and clear your subfloor. Ensure the subfloor is flat and smooth. Determine if moisture issues are there. Acclimate the material. Don't forget about your perimeter gap when you're installing. So LVT is a fantastic flooring option. It's durable, it can be cost effective, and can look amazing. But the difference between a floor you love for years and one that gives you headaches comes down to the work you do before you lay that first plank. Preparation isn't just a step, it's the foundation of a successful, long-lasting LVT floor. If you found the video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more tile, stone, and even LVT installation information and tips. And if you want a step-by-step on how to install, you can check out that video right here. And don't forget, let us keep learning together and tile the world. Flat and level. Grab a level. It's only $20 at your local hardware store. Pow!